You want to talk about the book?
I do want to talk about the book.
Oh,
I finished this book so long ago. I can't wait to talk about this book.
goodness.
Yeah. My name is Morgan. I have a channel. It'll be on that side of the screen, or no, down in the description. It'll be down there, wherever Connor puts it. Yeah, I talk about books. I talk about writing. I talk about movies when there's not strikes going on. And lately I've been talking about like Monster High and stuff like that. But I talk about whatever I want, and I'll put it on the internet forever.
Yeah.
Yay! What'd you think, Connor?
Oh, what did I think? I did not like the book. I just gotta put that out there now because this video might be a little more like I have my notes right here
Oh, cool.
and I have them separated into the good and the bad. I know, the good like that.
I do.
I was gonna say, I think the Hunger Games are somewhere back there, like the original trilogy.
Over there.
Yeah, I really like those books. I read them all like after the first movie came out.
Hmm.
I then watched all three of them, and I like them.
Yeah. They're some of my favorite books. That's why I'm so upset about it. Like that trilogy was like a cultural reset for me. I read it and I was a different person after, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's just especially Catching Fire, but all three of them like I ate up in middle school and I loved them and I still love them and I need to reread the original trilogy. It's been a long time. But, I went into this with like pretty high expectations. I like Suzanne Collins as an author, and I like the way that the original trilogy is written, and then it all came crashing down.
Oh, yeah. And so, yeah, if anyone's not familiar with what it is, this is the prequel set. What is it? 64 years in the past, because
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
the 10th
10th Hunger Games. And how do you even say his name? I'm sorry.
I believe it is Coriolanus.
Yeah.
That is the way I was saying it, but for the first like 100 pages, every time it came up, I was like, Corio? Coriolanus. Coriolanus.
Mhm.
Corio I believe it's Coriolanus, but I'm not positive. I think it's like a Greek or Roman name. A lot of the names are Greek or Roman, so they're like hard to pronounce. Um
Yeah. So yeah, baby President Snow mentors Lucy Greybeard, the female tribute from District 12 for the 10th Hunger Games. They fall in love. It's really gross.
it's so
And
nasty.
and it all goes to shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, Morgan has a much more in-depth reaction over on her channel. So please go check out her video after this one. No,
After this one, finish.
finish the video. No.
Finish the video.
Prequels are always hit or miss, and I acknowledge writing books is hard. I could not write a book, but
I have written some.
yeah.
I have experience.
Slay.
Yes,
Maybe.
writing book hard. Continue.
Yeah, really. I was just trying to be like, we're not here to rag on Suzanne Collins, but
Right.
I just didn't love the book, and so
Yeah.
I thought I know you read the book, and then I sort of read the book. I didn't read the book. My library had the
Audio reading is
audiobook,
reading.
and
If
so
audio reading counts. It counts.
I
Audiobooks
listened
count.
to the book. Read by Santino Fontano, which, if you don't know, he's Hans in Frozen.
Wow, what a choice! Actually,
Yeah.
that kind of eats.
He's in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and he
Okay.
slays in that show. One of my favorite
Yeah.
characters, some of my favorite songs. So, yeah. So I'm just going to get this in right now. This is an audiobook specific beef. All of the songs this book is full of so many songs. None of them are sung. He just reads them,
Oh, he just
like
reads them.
straight up reads them, and it comes off awkward.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, and I get it. You know,
Mhm.
he probably sat down and recorded this in his closet over like a weekend.
Yeah.
But it was just like specifically when Lucy is singing to the snakes in the arena.
Yeah.
You know, I imagine it, at least, you know, in the movie, it'll be, you know, she'll be singing this beautiful
Powerful
song. I think the
moment.
book
Yeah.
even says, like, it's a,
Mhm.
you know, like, hypnotic melody or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's literally in the audiobook just like, la, 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 la. And it was
Oh my
killing me low
god.
key because it was like, no, Santino can sing.
He's got pipes,
Why?
let him sing. Yeah.
Go crazy,
Maybe
King.
they didn't decide upon I believe for the movies, the previous trilogy, like the songs were in the books, but there was no tune like associated with them. So maybe this was before they had like the songwriting team for the film like
Mm-hmm.
come up with a melody. I don't know, but that is weird. Just la 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 la.
Had to air that out right there.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with what we did or did not like first?
I could start with some positive things. I think
Okay.
that could be nice, and then we
Uh-huh.
can rip it to shreds.
Okay.
I liked the lore a lot. I liked the lore with like the nepotism babies and like, oh, this is Caesar Flickerman's dad. Oh my god, Lucky Flickerman, like blah blah blah. Like I think that's kind of fun to play with and like establish like the world a little more. I like Act 3 a lot. The end of the book where it starts picking up, like I think the pace especially there is like a lot better cuz oh god, like the first 400 pages. But once the pace picks up, I had a lot better of a time. And I thought it was really cool, like seeing District 12 kind of from an outsider's perspective, because we only ever saw like Katniss's like insider perspective, and Coriolanus goes there and he's like, "This place is trash." Like, just seeing it from a different perspective, learning about the Covey, especially, like I thought all of
Mhm.
that stuff was really cool, and their backstories and the way they pick their names, like all of that kind of stuff. That was those were the things I enjoyed. That's pretty
Yeah.
much it.
Yeah, a lot of my enjoyment, shocker, from the Hunger Games book comes from the Hunger Games. So Act
Yeah,
2. I was gonna
yeah,
say, it's interesting to see the Hunger Games be so bad. Like,
yeah,
and granted, they have the line where they say, like, the bombing that happens earlier in the book is what screwed up the arena,
yeah.
you know, that
Back to the arena.
usually this would go a lot quicker because they can't run and
Mhm.
hide, you know.
Right.
But yeah, like the shitty drones is so
Yeah.
funny, and the
Oh
fact
my
that,
god.
you know, we kind of think of drones as, you know, the
Right.
evolution of package delivery.
Right. And it just doesn't get to the right spot and drops the stuff. And yeah, I think that's interesting too. I really like the part where Coriolanus and Sejanus go into the arena.
Hmm.
I think that's really intriguing because I was not expecting that to happen. I thought they'd just be like spectating the whole time. And so once they were like, no, you got to go in there, you got to go get him, I was like, whoa! Like, I thought that was great. I really liked that a lot.
I had a sinking feeling Coriolanus
Mhm.
was going to have to end up in there only
Yeah.
because the book is told from his POV. And so it's
Yeah.
like,
Hmm.
okay, well, we have to. Granted, I guess we didn't have to because most of it is just him sitting watching the TV.
Right.
But yeah. And then with that, I like Lucy Gray Baird. I
I
think
like her
she's a
too. I
fun,
like her
she's
a
a
lot.
cute character, and
Yeah.
she's just here living her life.
I like the way that she like wrote her, like especially her dialogue and like the phrases that she uses. You can tell she's kind of supposed to be Southern, and I feel like everyone always tries to put where the districts are, like in the North American map. They're like, where the fuck is District 12? I feel like that helps place it in the South a little more, like just the way she talks and the way she like talks about things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, this is like really interesting, like character building and world building at the same time.
Yeah, and I like, all her songs, I think, are fun, and I'm excited
Yeah.
to actually hear them. I like to believe that at the end, Lucy survived and made it off to District 13 or somewhere,
Yeah.
ran off into
Mhm.
the woods. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get, like, a definitive answer for her,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm glad they didn't straight up kill her.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
I went into this book with that mindset too. I
Yeah.
was like, well, okay,
You've
he's
never heard of
a
her, she's probably dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a monster in the original
Mhm.
trilogy, so he's gonna kill her at the end of this book.
Right.
And then,
Yeah. Especially the way he talks about her. That's so icky. We'll have to
yeah,
get into that.
oh yeah, and well, that's basically the end of Mike the Good. It's,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow.
Like Sejanus, he's cool.
Hmm.
He also dies, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was fucking
Uh,
woof.
yeah.
This book did make me realize how kind of dark the Hunger Games
Mhm.
trilogy is. Like,
Yeah.
just because everybody's, oh, don't, everybody looks back on them, with
Yeah.
the fun and excitement and, like the movies and all of that. And
Yeah.
then it was kind of like oh, they really did kind of get into some shit in these books. So,
Yeah. War and murder and betrayal and all sorts of stuff.
so yeah, like you said, Sir Janus was kind of that reminder of like oh yeah, this shit is like, not that you're not reading the whole book thinking this shit's fucked up, but
Right.
like he's
Right.
the only character pointing out it's fucked up.
Yeah.
And Lucy kind of does, but she just kind of gets her
Mhm.
quick remarks versus
Yeah.
Sir Janus is like, y'all, please.
I'm so excited for him throwing that chair. Looks so good in the trailer.
Morgan, you brought this up in your
Yeah.
video, but
Yeah.
you just reminded me of something I did like, and that's again just wrapping back to that. Interesting to see how bad the Hunger Games are. Like the fact that the tributes are just kept in the zoo. And it's like
Yeah.
they only eat if people come throw food at them.
Mhm. Crazy. Wild. My jaw dropped when I read that part when it was like, yep, we dropped them off at the zoo. They're staying in the monkey cage. I was like, what the fuck? What you mean?
What you mean by that?
First they like forced them all into one train car instead of like the nice, fancy, beautiful, like bullet train that they ride on in the trilogy. It's like, nope, this is a dingy train. Get in the box, kids. And then they shove them in a box. And then they don't even have uniforms either. They don't have uniforms like the 74th games. They just like wear whatever they are wearing. So Lucy's like in her dress the whole time,
Yeah.
like her nice rainbow dress. Yeah. I like Tigress. Thought she was fine. It's weird to me that they're cousins and we never heard about it. I don't think we heard about it in the original trilogy that I can remember.
I can't remember either.
I
I
don't
want
remember.
to say we knew they were related in some kind of way, but not this close. Like where they're
Yeah,
literally
like
living
growing up
together. Like,
together.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
'Cause
also, that's another kind of dropped
Mhm.
plot line I thought was
Yeah.
Tigress's like eventual, you know,
Mhm.
breakup with Snow. They're falling out,
Right.
and
Yeah.
also it just didn't happen. Tigress just kind
No,
of
I guess it
disappears
comes
after Act
later.
1.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a weird
What a
little
weird
book.
book.
Yeah.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Act 1 is very boring.
Yes, yeah, very much so.
Everything. I understand that, in the original trilogy, the war was like 74 years ago, 75 years ago. And for here, it's only been 10. But if I had $1 for every before the war, during the war, after the war, I'd have retired after reading this book.
It's a lot.
And then near the end of Act 1, it just becomes Snow beating his meat to Lucy Gray. But also being like, but she's poor.
It's okay because she's not really district, is
Oh my god.
She's Covey. She got trapped in the district, so she's not really one of those commoners from the district. She's not really one of them.
She's not like other girls.
She's not like the other girls.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, like
I hate him so much.
like my highlights from Act 1 are probably like Dr. Gall being also a monster and
crazy. Mad scientist lady.
I was expecting
rainbow snakes and shit.
Yeah. I was expecting Dr. Gall to get kind of her comeuppance or like some kind of like, like we didn't really get into Snow's ascension of power like I thought we would in this book. It's just kind of in the epilogue where they're like, yep, and he killed the dean and he's gonna be president someday.
Yeah. And I also think it was weird that specifically the whole book they were like, yep, he's going to be president. He's going to be the next president. Like, why specifically that position? Like, I feel like there's a lot of other, I don't know, like, he's going to be the president. Not, he's going to be like the head of the university. He's going to be the dean of the program. He's going to be the president. Like,
He was that kid. He was that kid, in your like 4th grade class who's, I'm gonna be president.
I'm gonna be the president.
And so that's just what everyone in his life has now, like, we get it. Well, with that, bouncing off of that, because that one's a good one to point out, is the callbacks in this book are so often. And I get it. It's a product of it being a prequel. And, like, it's okay to see the origins of some things. But this is like the, how did Han Solo get his name? Where did Indiana Jones get his hat? Of everything. Like, the hanging tree, its inclusion is nice. I think it's okay.
Yeah,
like, I said, as an origin of that, song. But then when they're just like, Katniss, it's like,
the Katniss roots, I was like, okay.
And how they're like, Cornelius, how you say his name, doesn't like Katniss. And it's like, oh my god. Be so serious.
Be so serious right now.
Or like at one point, the Grand Mam has some kind of talk about rebellion where she's like, the districts would catch fire. And it's like, oh my god. Y'all stop this madness. Please.
And Coriolanus hating the Mockingjays, too, on the same note of, he hates the Katniss. He literally wants them to line up all the Mockingjays and shoot them with guns. That's like his whole passion in the military. He's like, them birds gotta die.
Yeah.
Goodness. God.
Coriolanus is just boring and unlikable. And like, I'm not saying you can't make a villain the main character, but there's gotta be some like give or take where it's like, like with the Joker or something, where it's like, he is a monster, but he's entertaining or a tragic character like in the Joaquin Phoenix version or stuff, versus this is just thinks he's so smart, and like he thinks he's too smart, and everybody is stupid, and I am the greatest.
I hate him so much. And I said this in my video, but I was expecting him to have like a downwards arc. Like usually when you have an arc, you start with a character, they become a better person over the course of the book, they solve some problem that they have, whatever. I was expecting the opposite. He started as an okay person and then became an annoying narcissistic monster. But he starts out as an annoying narcissistic monster. Like there is no change. Like yeah, he's like worse and like more open about it by the end of the book, but also like he's been having these thoughts since the beginning of the book. Like I hate everyone, Sejanus sucks because he's from the district and he's a dumb idiot boy.
Goodness.
Like, all of that
the hating on Sejanus for the districts is so insane. Where he's just like this, like when he visits their home and he's just like, why would they keep all this trash? And it's like, are you not fighting to keep like your family home at the moment?
Right, literally,
like...
yeah. And all of your rich people garbage that you have left that you haven't pawned off for rent money, Mr. Snow. Like
yeah. And just has, like you said, like truly evil thoughts. There is no like, oh, I can see where he's like, the type of villain where it's like, I get why you want to do that, but that's wrong. Like a Killmonger or something in the MCU.
Yeah.
He's just evil. He
is just overly evil. Yeah.
We should kill them all except for Lucy because I love her. And
because I love her. Oh my god. And just like I had a thought. I don't know where it went. Oh, like I don't know if something had like happened while he was in District 12 and like he got there and all of the district people, every single one just like hated him because he was from the capital and started like bullying him and like really like, being antagonistic towards him. I would maybe understand him being like, oh, district people suck. But he gets there and they're like relatively nice to him, aside from like Billy and a couple of like, I don't know. He hates them all. And I get like, the war! The war! But, and he doesn't like, he wants to help Lucy, but it's not even for good reasons. It's for like, I want money. I want the prize. I want to like be able to afford rent and shit. And then also like I'm in love with Lucy and I own her, so I want her to live. So I can continue my ownership of her. Like it's so mad.
Oh my goodness. I thought the end of the book was gonna reveal that she was like playing him.
Yeah.
Like that it was gonna be like no, are you kidding me? Of course I don't have feelings for it. Like you locked me in a cage and made me fight to the death.
Right. Yeah.
Like I was expecting her to actually like, go back to District 12 and it be like, yeah, this is my boyfriend. This is my real boyfriend.
Right.
And then that would be his like what turns him into the crazy psychopath. Like,
yeah, but
is because he's an incel.
Which makes me question her judgment a little bit, because up until that point, Lucy is like perceived to be this like very intelligent like performer character who's like playing the crowd, but she can't see that she is being played. And I guess like technically he's not playing her the whole time, but he is for sure using. And he is like, I don't know. It just like the fact that she can't see through that until the very, very end. Like she trusts him until the very, very end. I'm like, girl, there were and she had a shitty ex-boyfriend. Like we learn from these experiences. You only let that go one time. It's
yeah, the ending, like you said, it's not until the end that she like really gets it. And it almost kind of comes out of nowhere / like it's just the one line of dialogue where like he says oh, I killed 3 people, and she's, oh, you only
Yeah.
killed 2.
Mm.
And then
Things
she
wheels
just
start
decides,
turning.
yeah, and then she's just like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that conversation, it brings up another point of mine, and that's that I think the book is hurt by the Hunger Games being off screen. Like,
Yeah.
I get you would kind of have to have it be, I'm bad with the, first, third person to archetype,
Right,
you're
yeah.
the author of where we could
I just did a
transfer
video on
over
this. We
to,
can talk
like,
about it.
Lucy's POV
Yeah.
during the game.
Right, yeah, like
or...
third person limited Lucy instead of third person limited Snow. Which is interesting because to have 2/3 of it told about Snow and then the middle third about Lucy, I feel like it would be really interesting. I feel like it would be a lot more interesting than what we got. But yeah, that might throw some people for a loop. I would have preferred it, I think.
Because I think the book's hurt by the Hunger Games happening off screen, especially during that conversation where they talk about the people they've killed. Because, like, Lucy says something where she's like, yeah, I poisoned so-and-so. And I literally had to be like, wait, did we hear that before? Or is that new information?
Right. I think she's talking about, it's like near the end of the games. She still has rat poison in the compact. And she puts it in a puddle. And then one of the tributes, like, scoops it up and drinks the puddle.
Yeah.
And so there's that. But I think she also used the rat poison on, like, other people. But no, I agree.
Because she used the rat poison at least twice, if I remember.
Yeah.
Like, she used it at the very end to win, right? If I remember correctly. And then she's like, yeah, and I poisoned so-and-so in the tunnels. And I was just like,
and we didn't see that, yeah. Yeah, too many cabbage soup mentions. Too much cabbage soup in general. Too much cabbage. I feel like there are other struggle meals we could have focused on.
One of those rare occasions. Kind of hope the movie is better than the book.
I know. I'm like, and I feel like it will be. Like, the trailer looks really good. I feel like it's one of those things that's just gonna translate better to the screen than it did to a book, especially because it's 500 pages long, and 300 pages of that is, we don't have any money. We are so poor. We're going to lose the house because of the war. And it just, I hated so much of it. I feel like it needed to be shorter, like at least 100 pages shorter. And
bad news bears. No, because the movie is 3 hours long. So
really, is it?
It's like 2:45.
Okay, because the other Hunger Games movies are like 2.5 hours. Which I did not realize they were that long until I was rewatching them.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe instead of the Katniss roots, they could have mentioned like primrose flowers or something. That would be a little more subtle. Or even
that he can stomp on the primrose flowers.
Oh my god. Technically that was Coin
and
Gale. So fuck Gale. All my homies hate Gale. Team PETA.
So that he can talk about that shitty bakery in District 12.
You should have, honestly. Well, while we're at it, may as well commit to the bit, The concept of it is compelling. Like, oh, it's a book about young Snow. Like, that could be really, like, a Maleficent kind of thing. Or, like, a Cruella, but I'm very glad she didn't try to humanize him, because a lot of people were afraid when they heard there was a love story that she was going to be like, actually, he's not so bad. And she didn't do that. So, happy about that. Bare minimum. Not romanticizing an abuser that kills children. But, Oh my god. I heard a, like, theory, rumor, or whatever you want to call it. This is in no way confirmed. But It was like a theory that Suzanne Collins purposefully wrote this book kind of bad so that the studio didn't force her to write a million more of them.
Oh
Like,
no.
she was like, here's a kind of shitty book. You're not going to ask for any more of those, right? And then, because, like, her writing is so good in the trilogy, and I don't understand how you fall this far unless it's on purpose. Like, she's an artiste. She knows what she's doing. There's so many layers, and I don't feel like she'd do it on purpose. And I don't know if I'm in denial. I don't. I have so much faith in this woman. I don't think it would be on purpose. But yeah, that's the theory I'm sticking to, because I feel like because this one sold pretty well, but it had shitty reviews. I feel like we would already have a Haymitch book by now, or like a Finnick book or something else, because the book came out in what, like 2020?
Yeah.
Like, that's enough time to crank out another one. So
wow. I fully admit I only read it because because of the movie. I probably would have never
gotten
gotten to
coming
it.
out, I wouldn't have touched it. Because even before I read it, I heard the reviews were kind of shit, and I was like, maybe I'm not gonna like it. But I still had high hopes. Like, the girlies on TikTok were like, "Oh my god, it's so good, you guys!" And they are liars.
Yeah.
They're all liars. I know they're like 15, but they're all liars. They lied to me.
Yeah. I kind of only read it because of that trailer for the first movie. Or the first trailer for the movie. And yeah. Just because I was curious of the games in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? How did the games play out?
And
then I had to sit through so much shit to get to the games. And then they were off screen. And
I also think there's too many characters. There's just like I could not name you a character aside from like the ones we've mentioned. And there was the girl that got bit by the snakes. And that's kind of it.
Clemencia.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember any of the other mentors. I don't remember most of the other tributes. Like, there's too many characters, and I feel like we don't get to know any of them.
I was gonna say, we basically only know Clemencia, Serjanus, and Corio.
Yeah.
Corio. I'm gonna call him Corio from now on. That's what Tigress calls him anyways.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we only know like those three mentors, and then we only really get Lucy fleshed out, and then she talks about is it Jessup? The District 12 boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also
he gets rabies.
Yeah, with the rabies. I want to know. I need to look up. Like, is the rabid animals being afraid of water?
I looked that up before we sat down to record. I was thinking about that scene, and I was like, is the hydrophobia real? Like, I don't know. Also, how would he know that? You know? How would he just know?
Like, I guess because it's just so common. Like, you know,
maybe
rabies.
Everyone in the capital got rabies now.
Rabies for them was like our COVID.
Oh my
it was
god!
Just like, you know, everybody knows. Everybody knows the symptoms. You're gonna get wild. It appears like it actually is like.
Oh.
Because it is like they can't swallow it.
Oh. I did think that part was a little bit stupid. The drones and the water bottles. I was like, this is a cop-out.
Yeah.
This is a cop-out. It felt like something I would write as a placeholder and be like, I'll put something better in when I think of something better and come back to it later. And she just never came back to it.
That's why I thought it was I thought it was made up. Because I was like, is this really like he's afraid of water?
Right. Yeah.
We kill him with water bottles?
I know, that's so dumb. It's so dumb. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about the snake song bit because I was like, how does that even work? Like, I know that they know her scent, but I don't know about her like snake charming her way out of that mess. I was just like, this is it. This is the end of the Hunger Games. This is it. We're going with this. Okay.
Yeah,
Right, Suzanne.
I purely wrote that off as she's just singing. It's got the snakes are only not eating her because they know her scent.
Yeah.
No. And with that, any smart thing Koryo does, then he immediately gets caught and called out for. You know, just thinking of his whole, like, I'm so smart, I'm smarter than everyone. And it's like, you got caught for every single thing you did to cheat in the Hunger Games.
A rat
You
poison,
probably...
a hanky, a napkin. My jaw dropped at that part too when he went into the office and it was all of his shit in there, and I was like, "Oh!"
Yeah, I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Because I thought, like, okay, this is where, because, you know, this is where we start to get into his rise to power. You know, he's gonna go to the university and he's gonna, you know, give up Lucy for power and kill her. And
yeah.
So then I was caught off guard where it was like oh no, you cheated and you are being banished. Because, you know, like in the original trilogy, all the quote-unquote, like, cheating Katniss and the other tributes did. It was like, it's the, you know, it's all fair game. You know, it's all...
Yeah, and they were just, like, exploiting the arena. Yeah. Like, oh, you put poisonous berries in the arena, we're gonna use these against you. Like, that kind of thing.
True.
Instead of, like, no, here is a compact of rat poison. I think in the original trilogy, I believe it's Glimmer, he tries to sneak in a poison ring.
Yes,
and you spin it and it has a spike that's like poisoned, and so they confiscated that from her, obviously, and that's definitely because of Snow. That rule is definitely in place because of Snow. They have to check everything the tributes bring in because of him.
He's probably why they can't just wear their clothes in.
Yeah, I bet.
They gotta put on their work clothes.
Yeah, coming in with a gun strapped under their dress, like. It's interesting that they went from drones to parachutes. Because I feel like it is harder to aim a parachute than it is a drone. You know, like the parachutes just kind of float down and then it's like, well, it landed close to you. Like, you gotta do what you can with that, I guess. Climb the tree and go get it. Like that kind of thing. Yeah.
And I guess one could argue that that was also caused by this game. Not only because they were faulty, but because, like, is it the District 4 kids that, like, make their, like, murder drone?
Make a Franken drone out of all the broken ones? That's fun. So good.
That kind of stuff. That's funny. That's good.
Yeah. I don't remember what each of the districts is for. I think it is 3, because I think 4 is... 3 is technology. Okay.
That sounds
I don't remember most of the other ones.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I haven't rewatched those movies and I haven't read those books.
Yeah. Jack Quaid is in the first one.
I've seen that via
He plays Marvel. I love him. My favorite Nepo baby. Yeah. Good.
I think you mean Koryo Snow.
Koryo Snow.
Your favorite Nepo baby.
No. If we're using that logic, my favorite Nepo baby is Caesar Flickerman. What a talented man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, when that trailer dropped, I really did think it was Stanley Tucci in a wig. It was like, they got Stanley back, and it's like not him, but it's cast so well. I was like, this is just Stanley Tucci. They pitched him up a little bit. That's him. And the myth, the legend. Yeah, I can't wait to see Peter Dinklage. He's gonna kill it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be so good.
I heard his voice. Like, even though it's
Yeah.
Santino reading the
Yeah.
book, you still
Uh-huh.
kind of hear it in your head.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, I know that's Peter Dinklage from the trailer. So then
Yeah.
I did just hear Peter Dinklage, you know, that's the sound of snow falling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna be rooting for him the whole time. What Coriolanus? This is a Coriolanus hate club. Oh, what if I make t-shirts?
yeah.
Coriolanus Snow Hate Club.
And then we wear
And
them.
then on the back it says it's the sound of snow falling.
Oh, golly.
If we had $1 for every time they say snow always lands on top.
Oh, my God. That one wasn't a callback, but that was another one. It's like, but knock it off.
One of those things that you can just mention like 2 or 3 times. It will get the. You don't have to bring it up 12 times.
Nope. We gotta drive it into the ground, sister. So, Morgan, do you want another book?
If it is about Mitch's games, the answer is yes. I've been dying for that book forever. I don't care if it sucks. I will eat up every page and I will not complain.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, I do want it because it's a quarter quell and it's twice as many tributes, and like what happened to Haymitch is so fucked up, and also like the way he wins is so cool. Like I want to see it with my eyeballs. I want to read it. I need it, but yeah, I don't know. If it was like, oh, this is the gap between Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and leading up to the Hunger Games, it would be a big fat no from me. If it was about Snow and like everything he does to seize power, I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna be in this book. I'm not reading more of that. Do you want another book, Connor?
I don't know. I'm at that point where it's the... Like you said, it'd be cool to hear about the characters that we've already heard from. But I question it being another full-length novel after
Yeah,
this one.
that's fair.
Like, I almost, if you could somehow do, like, a little anthology short stories.
Oh, yeah.
I don't, you know, it'd start to get a little thick, maybe, if you did too many. But, yeah.
Yeah. Just like, you know, smaller books in general. I don't know, have to be 500 pages.
I was gonna say, I have
like
no idea how big this book is.
517 pages!
That's it. I listened to the audiobook, and that was 16 and a half hours. So long.
And the Peacekeeper chunk starts around page 400.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea. But I did it and I lived.
Yeah.
I lived.
I knew it when I was about, like, you know, 4 or 5 hours into the audiobook and the Hunger Games still hadn't started. Then I was like, oh man.
You were in for a ride.
This book is all Act 1.
Yeah. Was.
Well, this was a fun little book club, little collaboration.
Club. Oh my god. I think our next book club should be the Love Hypothesis, because you're a Star Wars boy.
The what? Is this the Raylo fanfic?
It sure is, bestie.
Well, those are our thoughts on the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the Hunger Games prequel, Let us know what you thought down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye bye.